Hello, my name is Omar Rapisad. It's Sunday, September 16, 2018, and it's 2:58 p.m. in Toronto. So I tweeted quite a few tweets on my Twitter account, ROSHINI911. Those were my tweets. My account is hacked, and I delete the ones that I think is entries made by other people. But the ones that were made today and yesterday were all mine. And I'm trying to put my picture on the ones that are mine to validate the source. So I talked about a conspiracy and the conspiracy of targeting, the conspiracy of being a community target, because it is a conspiracy. So as time goes on, my understanding of what it is to be a target deepens because the program, as I'm coming to understand, is a step by step program. The progression of the program is to meet an end goal of disposal. And along the way, to convince innocent people who end up being criminalized by breaking laws along the way in the process of targeting the victim. In order to convince these people to take part, they lie to them and they bamboozle them, is the term I heard by people who harass me. So it's a series of bamboozling on a progressive scale in order for the perpetrators who are running the program to meet their end goal, which is disposal. And disposal can take the forms of killing, mental disposal, being declared mentally ill and put away in a psych ward, or physically and mentally incapacitated. In other words, leave you in society, but take away all your mental and physical capabilities, disable you. I've been a target for quite a while, a long time. And in retrospect, I've only become aware of it around 2005 and 2006 when I started noticing that I was being stalked. And I started blogging about it. And in the process of doing research, I unfortunately hit some sites that I was not aware at the time. This was only in the process of doing the research. That was anti-government and had political stance that I did not believe in, and in retrospect now, I think these were traps that were set for me. But I don't believe that this program has the starting point in any government agencies. I think it's a criminal program run on a global basis, run by criminals. I definitely don't believe governments are doing it. I'm not anti-government. I'm not anti any government. I'm anti-corruption, wherever the corruption may be. I'm anti-trafficking. I'm pro-human rights. So anything that goes against human rights, regardless of where it is taking place, I would be speaking up against it. So these things, of course, would get me targeted even more. But I don't believe that this is the reason I started becoming targeted. I believe I became a target the minute I set foot on Canadian soil by criminals. Criminals who were looking for vulnerable people to experiment with. The time we came to Canada in 1976, there was a lot of hearings going on about illegal experimentation and so on. So the experiments were being done illegally on unwitting experimentees. So if this was being exposed, the people who were doing the experiments would look for other subjects to work with. So where would they look? In vulnerable sectors, vulnerable groups. What would be a vulnerable group? Immigrants, extremely new immigrants who come from relatively humble beginnings, naive to city life, naive to the extent and the depth of evil and the degree of the depth of the predatory nature of some of the criminals who are running this program. We're naive to the degree of racism that is all part of being this group of targeted individuals. The degree of racism that's held against this group, this vulnerable group. For people to experiment on people, other human beings, the way that targets are experimented on, you'd have to think that these people are not human beings. Which is exactly what it is all about. So it's very anti-human rights. I'm living in a building that's predominantly Chinese, and there are a few Muslims, a few blacks, Somalis, and other races in the building, but predominantly Chinese. So the programming and the targeting is being done by Chinese simply because that's the predominant group. If I were in any other groups, I'm sure Indian groups, Caribbean groups, blacks, whatever, that'd be the group that I'd be talking about. This is race. While racism is a part of the reason I'm being targeted, all races take part in the program of targeting. So, anyways, let's go back to, having said all of that, let's go back to the tweets that I made today. And as you can tell, I'm ad-libbing here. I didn't write anything down. I didn't rehearse anything. The steps that I mentioned before. Let's go back to that. So as I said before, I've been targeted for a long time. So at the present time, the program I'm suspecting I'm in is at the disposal stage. How do I know that? Well, the harassment that I'm receiving is harassers around me saying comments like, we're going to kill you, we're going to rape you. I heard that because I'm a target, anybody, of course, can do anything against me and get away with it. So I heard that Badr Nizar espoused me. Well, why would a Muslim man who I'm suspecting have multiple wives or had multiple wives espouse a non-Muslim woman and not tell her while she's working with him on a 6-month contract as a property accountant? Why would he sign me out of the system and start reporting on me and degrading my skills? Well, the answer is very simple. To recruit as a sex slave and to sell. And this is what I believe that Badr Nizar had in mind when he took me out of the system and started degrading my skills in his reports about me to the municipality that I'm being harassed about over and over and over again. And he was selling me and still is selling me. And I think the charge that the police put against me based on lies told by 2 Muslim women with their faces covered who were harassing me because they were part of Badr Nizar's network. They were sent there to harass me. That because the cops are also targeting me because I'm a target, they charged me to shut me up. This is what I believe the real reason is. It's all linked together. The whole program, and there goes my camera, completely gone. And it happens all the time. So let's see if it comes back. It's frozen at 8:39. And it just came back, 8:39. So 10:18. So the camera screen went black. And it came back at 10:27. Not quite sure what happened there. So anyway, I'm going to leave it on just to demonstrate the technical difficulties I experience when I start talking about this. Um, the step-by-step progress. Let's get back to that. So as I said before, the stage at which my targeting is to dispose of me, because I'm exposing the targeting program step by step as it comes along. Once I became aware of it, big time whistleblower. So of course they want to get rid of me, the perpetrators. So the family's been infiltrated. The workplace has been infiltrated. Of course, the people in the building and the worker, especially, who I have in the Human Rights Tribunal right now, is targeting me and is colluding with other people to target me, to get rid of me, basically. And I'm using lasers and tasers and so on. I'm being tased in public. I'm being lasered inside of my home as I sleep. Something like a pain ray is being used on me. Right now I'm having problems with my ear, so if I'm not pronouncing my words, that's because my ears are popping. The pressure in my ear is being played with because my ear is being tagged, both ears. Anyway, end stage. This is the end stage. Because I'm talking too much. I'm exposing too much. And I'm exposing the police, the cops who are actually taking part in this. I'm exposing the people who are taking part in it. And some of these people are really, really rich and really, really powerful. And they want me dead, basically. Very, very dead. Disabled, at least, if not dead. So my eyes, my ears, they're trying to take away my senses. They're targeting my family heavily. My sister's chest is being tagged from the symptoms she's describing. Feet, swollen feet. My feet are swollen. It has nothing to do with heart disease. It has to do with the fact that I'm being tagged by the monitors. And this is all covert, of course. Satellite tracked and tagged. This is all part of being a target. So this program needs to stop. It really needs to stop. Of course, people are not going to just stop because I say stop. You have to take it to court. You have to get people to take action. The people in the right places to take action against what's going on, because it's a gross, gross, gross abuse of human rights. And it's good to note that not only targets, quote unquote, are targeted. Anybody who become involved in the program, anybody who targets me, are in turn targeted. Because if you get a password to access somebody inside your home, this is a criminal act. And you can end up in jail, basically. So it's illegal surveillance and a conspiracy to rape if you look at somebody inside your home as they sleep and hit their genitals with a laser or a taser. So these are very, very criminal actions, and they will end up. It will get the people who are involved in jail if they're prosecuted. Of course, the police is not going to be the one to lay the charges because they are part of it, some of them. So the only person who will be laying charges would be me. And once I start doing this, once I start taking people to court, I get really, really heavily targeted. Like I said, my hearing is being affected. And this happened right before my mediation. I put through the, I put the case through mediation. Of course, it was not successful, so we have to go to trial. But right before the court date, the mediation date, my ear started giving me a whole lot of problems, starting getting really painful and swollen and inflamed. because I was getting pulsed repeatedly as I slept in the air, and as it was being pulsed as well. Excuse me, in the workplace. So we're not supposed to talk. We targets. This is something that is a global criminal um, ongoing program, and I believe it's intended for everybody. I think everybody is going to be satellite tracked and managed. This is the intention of the program. It's of course it's a criminal program because somebody wants control of people. The whole idea is to control the individual, the target. So I'm being used as an example to make people aware that this is what could be done, and I strongly believe this is what will be done to everyone eventually. So people seeking their own interests should take action against it because they're next. And I'm going to stop there.